come out and hit our trap triangle. So our major goal, we're going to see this in a few more scenarios, get to the trap triangle. So in this scenario, we are combating a very, very heavy elbow. I'm going to shake my knee through and get there. So let's take a look at it from this angle really briefly. So you can see the leg shake. We're here. Again, left elbow jets out. Leg shakes. There comes the bicep and the near knee in the face. Sure, right, buddy? So be careful on your training part. In drilling it happens, in training it almost never happens. And now, as the clamp sets in, we open the arms and we back heel. If he drives, because if he doesn't drive, we may elect to do something very different that we'll look at in a minute. If he drives, I'm taking the leg out and we're going for our trap triangle. That's a very good idea. If he meets us as he drives with fingers, we're going to go into the knuckles. We're going to push the hand forward. And again, we're able to hit trap triangle. When we are in the clamp, guys, it's important that this arm does something specific. If I'm lazy with the pressure of this elbow, when we get into the clamp, when I open the guard, the frame, this elbow's job is to monitor his arm. Now that doesn't mean I need to hold it. I just need to put downward pressure on his forearm / elbow to keep it against my waist. When I release the frame, I like my arm to begin covering the waist. And just, you'll see why later, but I like to keep the waist start to cover the waist. But at the same time, I need that tension. And then as he drives, when I get to I can now let that go as long as I keep this relatively snug. I don't want to let his arm back across my body. We have him in near checkmate. To let his arm back across the body would be letting him out of some horrendous positions. So on this case, we shake the leg through, and then we go into trap triangle, and now we're going to use either a finger peel, or I call it knuckle peel / finger peel, or we're able to do it as he pushes forward, because sometimes the hand posts when he pushes forward. We're able to snag that up. So common problem against tight elbow. Okay, let's take a look at when he's driven the elbow. I've shaken my leg back in, but he stays down. I said that pulling the leg out isn't always the opportune thing to do. So he stayed tight elbow, and I got my leg. I shook it through. Okay, but he's staying very low. When we go to clamp, if he doesn't move, he still stays low. Taking this left leg out of here can sometimes only lead me to an omoplata. Because if I do take this leg out, number one, it's a little bit weaker to take it out. And to go collect his head for a triangle now isn't very likely. Because he's already basically in an omoplata. And if he has any wits about him at all, he'll just circle back a little bit and he'll be in an omoplata. He should know better. And if you watch this, you now know better than to stay low like that and let your head get collected back into a trap triangle. So if he doesn't move and you move into clamp and they stay down, it is not a bad idea to re-grab the shoulder and post up on the elbow. I typically don't use this one as much as an omoplata, to be honest. I love an omoplata. But this is an exceptional move. Now, there are two versions of this. There's a rolling, and then there's a driving, okay? Let me show you both and what you're going to want to achieve from both. If I roll, I'm highly likely want to let this go. We prop up and we begin to roll. I have the option of placing my foot in front of the head or leaving it on the back. On the rolling version, it's always going to be ideal if I begin to loop my leg in front of his head. And I'm going to show you why. As I roll, I'm going to catch the elbow and I'm going to roll to my hip. He is going to forward roll. Okay? You see our body position. Now, if we can move around this way. you see our body position now. I've rolled and my legs, I'll end up like this, are facing his head. That's very important because that's what stops him from sitting up. Okay? That leg that I passed in front of his head is the reason why we end up side on like this. If I left the leg behind his back, we'll end up rolling and sitting up, and I'll show you. And then you're gonna have to go catch the leg, which is not easy on that timing. If I pass the leg in front of his head when I roll, we'll be able to end up side on. But you'll notice the leg usually won't maintain that. It may not maintain that front position, but it allows you to move to land side on. Now, if the left foot is above the arm or below the arm, it doesn't matter. You'll have things to do regardless. But now I will prop up on my elbow, keeping my left knee tight, and I'm going to bring my shin in front of his head. I'll lock my foot with my left knee, and now we can begin to hit a monoplata. Okay? Monoplatas are exceptionally strong moves, really problematic position for Kyle. They're heavy on the hip. Or if my leg is in front or above him, I can go monoplata, but I can also begin locking the mechanism of what will be a triangle if the arm slips that way. So left leg can go over on that side of the neck, or left leg can go in the armpit, and my knee can press down into my foot to anchor it down. When we finish a monoplata, I want to keep posted on my elbow. We're going to grab his elbow with a clasp style grip. And I'm not only going to bring the elbow up. That's a bit archaic. Just like, I need to change the angle of his arm. So when I move my hip and I bring his hand closer to his body as I bring the elbow up, we get a true finish. Okay? That's a shoulder breaking finish. If I just stay here and pull up on the elbow, it's going to be difficult